Hey everyone, welcome to lesson 2 of this rhythm changes bass course. So hopefully now you have the B flat major scales that we worked on lesson 1 all together, and you're fluent down here in one position, and then you can play up the octave a bit too. So in this lesson we're going to practice walking some bass just in the key of B flat. We're not even going to attempt to play the form of rhythm changes yet. We're just going to walk in the key of B flat. Now there are going to be some restrictions. We are only going to be using the notes from the B flat major scale. No chromatic notes yet, no repeated notes yet, and we're going to try and avoid awkward intervals. So we're going to walk in 4-bar phrases in 4/4, swing, walking, and every 2 bars we're going to land on the chord tones of the key that we're working in, which is obviously B flat. So let's get on to step 1. So step 1, there's a PDF for reference if you need it. So step 1, we're just going to be working with landing on this B flat only every 2 bars of the 4-bar phrase. So on downbeat of bar 1 and the downbeat of bar 3 of this 4-bar phrase that keeps repeating itself. So only this B flat. Now this is where it becomes slightly more tricky. We can only approach the B flat from the C above it, the A below it, and E the F. So really like an F triad, which obviously makes sense going to a B flat. We can only approach the B flats from those notes. And for step 1, we're not going above this F on the bass. Same with electric players. Don't go above that F wherever you're playing it on the instrument. You might be shifting a bit, but try and keep the notes the same. So let's try. So step 1, I'm going to be landing on the B flat on the downbeat of every 2 bars from only those approach notes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Obviously I was repeating myself a bit. And you will, but just try and do that, get comfortable with just landing on that B flat. Keep going, B flat, B flat. So before we move on to the next step of this lesson, make sure you can do that first. So now step 2, now we're going to open up a tiny bit and allow this B flat to be played on the downbeat of every 2 bars. So we can, now this B flat can only be approached from the C above it, the A beneath it, and this F. And we're not doing any other approach notes to that B flat. I'm trying to avoid big leaps for now. So the first thing to do before we combine it or add to the B flat that we've been playing, maybe if you need to focus on this B flat, just practice landing on this specific B flat first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some inconsistent but notes. Again, we're always trying to walk with consistent even notes and with a pulse that sort of stays in time, hopefully. So now we can combine it with the B flat, this other B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a bad mistake. G to, no. Actually, that's a good example. Okay, so there was one, I went from a G. Now, in the purpose of this exercise, it just sounded a bit like not stepwise and slightly out of character of the way we were already playing. Now later in this course we might get into some pentatonic things and then there's more possibilities, but now I really want you to only use those approach notes. So I've failed the course already. So work on that, practice that, I will too. And build up speed too, you know. Now, and then we'll move on to step 3. Okay, so now we're going to go on to step 3, and we're going to add the D into the mix, but only this D, not any other D on the instruments. With upright players, we're playing an open D. Electric players, you may be playing the D here. So now I'm afraid the D has its own approach notes too that are acceptable. So you can approach the D from the E flat above it, from the C below it, and also from the F, either F. Now, and definitely not the A, because then it sounds like more like we're in sort of D minor territory. Like before, maybe we should just work on approaching the D before we combine it with the two B flats. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you've got comfortable with just landing on the D. Let's combine it with the two B flats to make it sound a bit more like we're in B flat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we combined it with the B flats. Now, if I'm doing too many Ds, I am conscious of maybe the next time, if I've done two Ds as I did then, I'm conscious of, maybe bringing it back to the B flat, just to make, bring the center back to that B flat. So go away and practice landing on that D specifically before we go on to step 4 of this lesson 2. So now we're on to step 4. Step 4, we're going to be adding the F, these Fs to the mix, the 5th of the chord. Now, again, I'm sorry, these Fs can only be approached from the G above it, the E flat below it, and basically, basically the C below it. So the G above it, the C. So more like kind of like a C minor triad, if you want to look at it like that. So again, maybe we should just focus on the Fs before we combine them with the B flats and the D. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That sounds a bit like now we're just playing on F7 or on a different chord. So now let's combine it with the B flats and the Ds to create the illusion of B flat more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scales that we learned in lesson 1. So yeah, I mean the F is, I'm really was trying to maybe be more on the B flat than D, and when I sort of landed on the F there, it did give that idea of suspension, which is cool, but maybe at this stage of the course we need to sort of really work on resolving to the B flat, obviously, and D more than the F. So now we're on to step 5, which is basically go away and practice what we've been doing. But let's build up some speed and try different tempos with what we've been doing. Now, it's very important that we don't go above this C, because it's really important that we're economical with our movement, especially on upright basses. We really want to be able to do stuff just down here. Do that very diatonic, yeah, but I'm just doing it very relaxed. So this is the end of lesson 2. I'll see you in lesson 3. Go away and practice and get good at this, and then we'll move on in lesson 3 to the higher octave.